Hey, fellas, welcome back.
Oh,
It's Wednesday.
it's Wednesday, by the
It's
way.
Wednesday, May 19th. Big day. Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, mom's birthday today? Mom's birthday today. Happy birthday, mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. As well as some sporting news, as well as a birthday of
No,
my
not
mother. All
today.
sorts of things. I swear, they don't stop.
What kind of show is this,
They
huh?
just don't stop making news. They're in the headlines. All these sporters on their sporting activities.
Who cares? Does anyone even watch sports these days?
Who does care?
Does anyone watch sports these days? That's all I care. I thought everyone just went to church on Sundays
Mm-hmm.
on our simulcast,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the week was just made for working and yeah, I didn't think sports.
Not
I
until
don't think
football
sports.
season, baby.
Yeah, I don't think sports really matter.
All right.
All right, and with that, your
On
sports
that
news for
note,
the
let's talk about sports for 2 hours. Um, so first, there's a couple things that have happened, uh, that are all little follow-ups to things we've already talked about.
Ooh.
So I think start out with an update on the Stanford situation. As we discussed,
Ooh.
they were cutting 11 of their D1 collegiate sports, including some significant ones, such as the wrestling program. Um, this is 10 months since they announced the plan now. Today, they announced they will not be discontinued at all. So way to go,
So
Stanford.
they brought everything back, huh?
You didn't destroy your whole school. We're very proud.
Wait, and that's like 2 days after the announcement that they were going to sue, right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, cool.
exactly.
So no sports. Oh, you're going to sue. Oh, we have sports again.
Yep.
But hey, good for Stanford.
And the deadline, I think it also came to probably as well as inspired the lawsuit. A couple
Ah,
weeks from now, I think any athletes would actually lose their varsity status. So it was
gotcha.
this was like the crunch point. This is when it had to happen. I'm glad they figured it out.
Hey, Stanford University, university for the people.
Yeah,
Ferda,
sometimes
Ferda.
for the for the trees. Uh, so yeah, that was a nice little follow up. Everyone's happy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Stanford.
What's up? Oh, I thought you
Yay,
said, "Hey,
Stanford.
Stanford." I
Oh,
thought you were gonna tell him something. I
yay,
thought you were about to.
Stanford.
Yay,
Or
Stanford.
hey, Stanford. Next time, don't get yourself in a legal situation.
Hey, Stanford. 10 months,
Hey,
dude.
Stanford. Be nice. Be
ten
nice to the
months, dude.
sports. You have lots of money. Yeah, just keep the sports going, Stanford. You don't have to do that. Imagine like a multi-million-dollar lawsuit goes out on Stanford because of sports.
It would be especially funny because they only canned it because they said they couldn't afford it, and then they'd have to afford a class action in
And then they'd
court.
have to afford a whole legal suit. That's probably what it came down to, honestly. There's like, we cannot afford a giant lawsuit. So
I mean, I think there's just so much. It doesn't make any. I think it's so clear. I don't know what was actually happening, and that no one seems to I don't know. All the Stanford big cats talking. They're like, yeah, we're not in a financial position, but we just saw that we're and now they're like
yeah.
we're making the sacrifice, but whatever. Um,
We are going to make it work.
we are
We're
going to
making the
make
sacrifice for the student athletes,
um
for the people. I'm telling you, Stanford University. Wow, what a professional move.
yeah, that's good for them. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they didn't not do it more so. But this is
Uh,
just some interesting stuff for them to say they can't fund it. The men's volleyball team alone in this 10-month span has garnered $7.7 million in pledges to continue operating. That's one of the teams. And it's like, of course they did. Because every graduate from Stanford is a Stanford graduate.
yeah, they're probably like Stanford could have literally been like, hey, by the way, in a year we might have to disband 11 sports. Can everyone just grab a couple bucks and pitch them our way? And everyone be like, oh yeah, here's $1 million.
So
Like it's Stanford. Their alumni association has to be ridiculous. You tell me that you can't afford 11 sports, and it was like 11 sports that probably didn't even cost that much money. Like
no.
wrestling, all you have to do is ship them around, feed them, ship them around. Volleyball, feed them, ship them around. It's not like they need thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Oh, here's something interesting as well. The general lawsuit, the one for just like the misleading, all that stuff that's been filed by I think it was 8 of the 11 teams,
Yeah,
was dropped.
immediately.
However, the Title IX that I think 3 of the women's teams lawsuit, their lawyer said we're gonna need to see the details first. So they're not out of,
Oh,
they're not in the clear water yet. They're still in some
oh,
murky
we're
mud.
still we're still going for the pocketbook, huh?
Yeah,
We're still going for it.
because I mean, I guess they might still be in violation of some kind of Title IX law in accordance with the ninth title.
Man, I've studied Title IX quite a bit, and I don't
I,
know where it could be
I suppose maybe
unless
that
they were
yeah,
already in violation of Title IX before this
right.
started, and then by maybe getting rid of the sports, they were going to be back in Title IX, um, like bylaws. But I wonder if this is something before they disbanded some teams. I wonder if there was COVID, or not COVID, Title IX problems before then. Because it
Yeah,
seems really weird that they would take away the teams and then reinstate them,
and then still
unless they're going
have
to
a problem.
reinstate them differently.
I think it also
Maybe,
could be that it might not be an official writing that every single team and every like the whole
yeah.
roster as well, that everyone with
They
say,
probably came out and were like, "Oh, lawsuit. Yeah, we'll have 11 teams next year."
or to make sure that the because Title IX also deals with the scholarships, right?
Yes.
So they probably want to see if those get reinstated. They probably want to see the actual deal all in writing
Yeah.
first.
It is most likely due to scholarships because I'm
Yeah.
sure scholarships aren't going to be what they were last year due to
No.
COVID and like
But
financial things.
going back to just saying that Stanford can't afford it. Here's a quick little fun thing. They made $28.9 billion in endowments as of August. Um,
Wait, with a B?
with a B.
With a B.
There's a B. Yeah, there's a
Wait,
B.
alien with a B in front of it?
28.9 billion. It's a
That's
lot.
a that's a lot of pennies.
So could you imagine? And then so it was estimated that these 11 sports teams for 3 years, so 33 sporting years, that's the unit we're using, would cost $70 million. For the next 3 years to have all 11 teams would be
Plus all the other ones.
less than a half of a tenth of a percent of the endowments they had up to August.
Wow.
I mean, maybe they need to build a
Why?
new library or something.
Why would Stanford do that? They, I mean, besides not wanting to deal with just 11 sports, but like if you're doing okay on money, why wouldn't you want to keep the sports as a university? Doesn't that bring
Wow.
you more like prestige and like more recruitment and things?
Yeah, especially considering like they are,
They have one of the
you know,
top wrestling programs and volleyball programs.
yeah, Ivies, especially Stanford, in their as you wrestling and basketball, or sorry, wrestling and volleyball. I mean, in the combination of, is this all of them? Yeah, I think it's all of them. It would cutting them for this year only save their department $8 million.
Which
So
volleyball made basically back.
probably, and if not, within the 11 sports they eliminated, they've won 20 national titles in their respective sports, and they have had 27 Olympic medalists come out of these programs. Not Olympians,
Olympic medalists.
medalists.
the hell's wrong with them?
It's just so much success, so good. It's just a shame that they had to all be scared. It's probably gonna leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth. It's probably definitely gonna affect her career.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just a
my friend who
big
is
shame.
wrestling at Stanford, I'm sure he's not gonna be happy about. Like, I'm sure he's happy that he's reinstated and he's got a scholarship again. But at the end of the day, I'd be like, the fuck? Like, you promised me 4 years at this school as long as I wrestled for you.
Yeah,
Seems a little bit ridiculous.
if you want to look at this, it's a New York Times article, and it's super long, so I'm not gonna get into everything on it. But man,
But
there's
it's
like
just,
quotes from a bunch of the student athletes, and they're all just like, they're all like, we know how much they get in endowments. We know how much our program costs to run. We could get one alumni that we know to run our entire program. It's not because you can't afford it. Come on
that's
now.
seriously, they probably have individual people that would individually
Yeah,
fund
that's what the
those
one dude,
11 sports.
the guy from the men's crew team, that was he said. He said there's one person that could fund our entire team, like one alum that could fund
Oh
our
yeah,
entire
and
team.
they're probably, and he probably would, or that person probably would too. If there was a Stanford alumni out there that was like a crazy Stanford alumni and had that much money, like they would easily save the program. Like, are you kidding? They probably get a building in their name and every sport in their name. Like, shit. If I had $7 million to give Stanford and I was a Stanford alum to save their entire sport program, I would. Are you kidding me? That'd be sick.
Dude,
You
and their
just save
synchronized swimming
sports.
team was just coming off a natty championship. I mean, it's just crazy. So, but we're glad that worked out. Hooray for
We're
Stanford,
glad.
sort of.
Good job. Good
Hooray
job,
for the student
students.
athletes.
Good job, student
Hooray.
athletes. Way to take
Glad you don't have
charge.
to be sad. Um, Also, a follow up on something that we've been talking about a little bit.
Ew. Ew.
Quantarius
Warriors.
Bryant. Do you remember him?
That is the Atlanta Falcon guy, right?
Yeah, he got trolled. He got trolled
He
big
got
time in a major way.
he got the poor guy.
However, guess what?
Someone was nice to him.
Someone was nice to him.
I like when people are nice to people.
He's
I was
getting
wondering-
NFL tryouts now.
I was wondering if that was going to happen actually, like that he'd actually get a tryout after because of what happened.
Yeah, so he's gonna get to work out at this hub football event, which it's just basically a professional football camp that happens around this time in the season. They bring in some undrafted, some free agent, bring them in, work them out. Bunch of teams will be there, hoping for our guy Quantarius. Hopefully he gets a roster spot. But
yeah, how crazy would it be if he ended up on a team?
What if he ended up on the Falcons?
That would actually be really funny. They might just for like the feel good story kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good locker room guy.
I mean, if Tim Tebow has a team, then Quantarius might.
Dude, did you seriously just turn this into a Tim Tebow conversation?
Yes, I did. Yes.
So Jacksonville will be like, my running back's a wide receiver and my quarterback's a tight end. Anyway.
Oh, Raquel Armstead got cut yesterday by the Jaguars. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
The old Temple guy got picked up by the Giants this morning.
Good pickup.
In a 12-hour stint, they got
Yeah.
picked up.
Yeah, that was
Great pickup.
Easy.
Saquon's backup, Raquel Armstead. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's a very nice, solid, big boy backup.
That's a great move. I'm pissed about it.
And now they don't have to deal with Wayne Gallman and all those other weird running backs. Didn't they have Devontae Freeman for a little bit this past season?
Oh yeah.
Didn't they pick him up?
They picked him up.
And he was
week
bad.
Or something. He was also hurt a lot.
And behind a terrible offensive line.
He did not play a ton of weeks.
Yeah,
a lot of D's, a lot of Q's next to that guy's name.
He kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
real quick.
I feel like he had about as long of like a career for a starting running back as you could expect from like an average dude. Like he's not Frank Gore.
Yeah.
He's not. He's really, really good. Falcons legend.
I just feel like he went from like so good like a couple years, like 3-4 years ago in 4 or 5 years ago in fantasy. He was just like an all-star. Like if you had him on your team, you were guaranteed playoffs and stuff. And now he's like backups for different teams.
Well, like 3-4 years ago was the last time that was like 2017. I think was like the last time he played I'm a pretty big Devon. I really like Devontae Freeman.
I do.
I love him.
I loved the combination of Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. I thought
Yeah,
that was like the
so
coolest
fun for a
running back
while.
committee ever.
So fun.
Because Tevin Coleman could have been the starter of
Oh,
that
he could
team
have been a
too.
starter anywhere. That was always the thing.
I mean, I don't know how he would have done in load managing because I don't think he's a 30 touch a game
No, he would
kind of
have
running back. It'd be like he's like a 15 touch, but he was still like, man,
But at
they'd
least like
give it
primary running back.
they'd give it to Devontae and he'd run it up the middle for 20 yards, and then Tevin Coleman would take a pitch to the outside and run it for 20 yards. It's like, damn.
Yeah. So I think he was hurt in 2018. So 2017 was his last real season. Took a big injury 2018. Came back 2019. Did okay. Basically, I mean, he started a bunch of games.
I don't know if it's just the fact they both now have played for the Falcons, but I feel like Todd Gurley and Devontae Freeman are the same running back.
Yeah, I think Todd.
They have like similar narratives, I feel like.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. I think peak Todd Gurley was way better, and I'm
I agree.
I'm way more confused about what happened to Todd Gurley.
His knees. It's his knees.
But like, the Rams are saying that, and then they got rid of him, and then he just kept playing, and he was all like, I haven't heard that like he's been struggling.
I mean, he's fine. I just think that he's like not as near as explosive as he was the couple years on the Rams. And you even saw it in his last year on the Rams too. You were like, oh yeah, there's something like I mean, he's not limping, he's not getting hurt or anything, but you can definitely tell that he's not hitting holes as explosively. He's not like his run after a contact was not what it was. Like, I don't know. He just didn't seem like the same brute, crazy running back. But then he had a good final last 6 games with the Falcons.
Yeah.
His last half of the season he did really. I mean, he was just kind of a touchdown mooch, but like he was playing well.
I feel like they were kind of afraid for a while to run him hard.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, they didn't even run him in those playoffs.
Yeah, and once they were, he was cruising. I don't know. Like, obviously, we're not in the facility. We don't know what's going on. Maybe he's like, dude, my knees don't exist anymore.
Yeah, like my knees hurt.
Give me a couple less touches. But
I remember him being.
I
remember him being frustrated about that playoff series, though. Remember when they were running Michael Tolbert instead of it was Tolbert, right?
Yeah, but
was it Anders CJ? Anyways, whoever replaced him in that Rams playoff series.
It was CJ. It was CJ.
It was CJ. It was when they went to the Super Bowl, right? That was the year that they went to the Super Bowl because they weren't running Todd Gurley, and everyone was like, why aren't you playing Todd Gurley? And they're like, oh, we're just saving him. We're just saving him. It's like, what are you saving him for? You're in the freaking playoffs.
I think
I could be wrong about this.
Was that the Super Bowl year? That was the year after. That was 2018? That was 18-19, right? Was Rams?
18-19 because I was in Tokyo for that, which was sophomore year. Yeah, 18-19.
Do they get hyped for the Super Bowl over there?
I watched it at like 9 a.m. They not really. They didn't really care.
That's fair. If it's at 9.
I mean, I went to an American school, so like we kind of cared. Like in my class, I had a couple people with like their phones going, but like the game was so bad anyways that like I turned it off within a quarter because I was like, I'm not even in the U.S. and I really don't care who wins this game. Let's see, the season. He's on the Rams until 2019.
Yeah, so 2018 he had a really good year though.
2018, I think that was the year where he had a really good season, and then he kind of got. Sean McVay was trying to like save him towards the end of the season a little bit, so he kind of like benched him a few games, and that's when CJ kind of appeared and was starting to do really well. And then in playoffs, we all expected to see Todd Gurley, but he was one of the games he didn't even play. Was it the Super Bowl or like the NFC Championship? He didn't even play.
The NFC Championship game.
He didn't touch the ball. And I think the Super Bowl he barely touched the ball too.
And CJ was just bowling people
down.
Oh
my God, he was doing so good.
He was like
and maybe that was part of it.
Oh
but at the end of the day,
I guarantee you, if that dude looked like a bum out there, they'd be like, all right, Todd, put some icy hot on those knees and get going.
Well, like 2017, he rushes for 279 times, 1,300 yards, and 13 touchdowns, and then adds another 800 yards of receiving on top of it.
Wow.
Then he goes into 2018. He takes 23 less carries, gets 50 less yards, gets 4 more touchdowns.
Yeah.
His longest run shortens up a little bit, and then he gets about 200 yards less receiving and 2 less receiving touchdowns. His catch rate's the same. Yards from scrimmage is a little different. Like he only fumbled 1 time in 2018 compared to 5 times in 2017. Like it doesn't make sense where the decline came from, like where it started. And then of course 2019 he only had 857. Like
Yeah.
I just don't know. There must have been something real bad that happened that season that no one really talked about. It must have just been like a flip. Because they stopped using him. Like
yeah, I think behind the scenes that this injury or whatever deterioration was happening in his knees must be way worse. And he's definitely like a competitor. He is knows like he just goes.
I think the Rams were probably like, there's no way. Yeah,
like
there's
we
no
probably
way you're
couldn't
gonna
see it on the field because he was just like, I am gonna run my knees into the dust. But, the team probably knew it was happening.
Yeah, I remember reading about it back then, and like apparently it's like pretty severe arthritis and shit, like in his knees, and it's like, damn, like a 28-year-old running back trying to run with arthritis in his knees. Good fucking luck.
Yeah, it's rough.
He still balls out though. Gotta hand it to the guy. But no, there was definitely, but like for the 2018 season when he was just dominant, and then they went to the Super Bowl, and he came back for 2019, and you watch him run again, you're like, oh, this is not the same running back. He's still a good running back, but man, it was not the same. Not even close. Little Joe is back on track for week 1. Joey Burrow. Little Joey Burrow might be playing week 1 after a torn ACL. God, I hope he's good. I hope he's good.
Me too.
He was so good before he left. Before he got hurt.
I just want him to be good. Is like, didn't we know this?
I wasn't sure if he was going to be back for week 1.
Yeah. He's a young guy.
I mean, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, but he's got a young
I still think coming back from ACL injuries is absurd. I think it's nuts. I had a couple of friends in like high school and shit like that and college that have torn their ACL, and like seeing the recovery and the way back. Now I get it. They have like the top trainers and doctors in the world. But like seeing the recovery back from that is a brutal process. I just can't believe that you could play professional football on a torn ACL, especially Joey Burrow, who's going to get hit a shitload because his offensive line doesn't like to protect him very much.
No, they don't.
What else happened?
Some more updates on what we've been talking about. So we also talked about the A's and their woes in their stadium and their potential.
Where's the Oakland A's going? Are they staying?
It's not looking
sell
good.
Up in the air. Oh God, not another
A's
Oakland.
Officials are visiting Southern Nevada, which is the region where
Las
Vegas is contained.
Las Vegas baseball team. So Oakland's just going to move to Las Vegas, huh?
They're just going to move to Las Vegas.
So the Timberwolves coming too?
Maybe. Imagine if Vegas had 4 teams after having 0.
Like 0 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
That's crazy.
Do you remember the first player that went to the Golden Knights? I think it was Tuck from the Minnesota Wild. And he did a video when the Golden Knights first started. And it was literally just him playing hockey by himself because he was actually the only signed person on the Golden Knights at the time. And he was literally, there was just like a clip of him playing hockey with himself. And he's like, yeah, I could use some company. It was so funny. I've loved the Golden Knights ever since they came in the league. Now, they did beat my Wild last night. But that's fine. We stole one. We stole one in Vegas. It's 1-1 coming back to Minnesota. We'll take it. But no, I just remember that being so funny. Like the Golden Knights being like, well, we got our player. We got one. I'm excited for another expansion, honestly. I want more teams. I want more expansion drafts.
Yeah, it's
the expansion draft
interesting.
Killed the Minnesota Wild. It gave up 2 of our best players at the time. But I love expansion drafts and just like seeing who teams keep and like who ends up on new teams.
You got to get your protections right.
I think a new NBA team would be awesome because that means that not everyone's going to be able to protect their big threes.
Yeah, it would be
Big
nice.
threes are unprotectable.
They need 2 more.
2 more?
I don't know. I hate it when there's an odd number of teams.
Vegas and Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're going to move Minnesota. They have to now.
Vancouver and Seattle.
Vancouver?
Mm.
More Canadian teams in the
Give him
National
the
League?
Grizz back. Or
Give
don't give him
no.
the Grizz. Give him the name and make.
Give them the Timberwolves. Get us a different team.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I'll let it have. I'll see what the boys can do. but yeah, so it's not looking good. The A's president was meeting with the Vegas government to determine if they are a fit. Other possible locations still include Charlotte, Nashville, Portland, Montreal, Vancouver, as well as staying in Oakland. But this is the only thing that's actually happened. It isn't just words. So
I would say, probably Oakland, Vegas, or Nashville.
yeah, I think
we
yeah.
said that before. I think Nashville would be a really cool baseball spot.
Yeah, we were talking about that last
Seeing
time.
seeing how the Predators are, and like
Yeah.
they have a really strong fan base, and it's hockey in Nashville, which doesn't really coincide. I think a baseball team in Nashville would be really cool. Now, I don't want the Oakland A's to leave. However, they did start the Twins' curse. Fucking Moneyball. But I don't want them to leave. I like the Oakland A's. I always have. I like Oakland teams in general. I think Oakland's a really cool market, but apparently other people do not agree.
Yeah.
Considering all those teams just like to go to Vegas now. I still can't believe they moved the Oakland Raiders though. Like that's still crazy to me. Like I know the stadium was shit and whatever, but like that fan base is so strong. So strong. They have a crazy fan base. Like imagine the Eagles being really bad and not being from Philadelphia, and then one day they just move. Like, dude, that's a crazy fan base with like very loyal fans.
Yeah.
Very loyal fans in that area. Like I get that Oakland probably doesn't have the reach that Philly does, but like that's a crazy. Like Oakland Raiders were around for so long.
Yeah.
Playing on their baseball field. I can't believe that they played on a baseball field.
For
that was always the
most. They did.
That's the most ridiculous thing that they would literally play on a dirt. Like imagine getting tackled onto just what is it, sandstone or whatever that is.
Yeah, it would suck.
That would hurt like a bitch.
So bad.
Like probably not more than any other hit in the NFL feels like, but just like sliding and landing on the sandstone, like dudes had been torn up.
Oh yeah.
You look like you're into something over there. What do you got cooking over there?
So see that Liberty win last night?
Yeah. And guess who had Liberty plus 4.5?
Yup.
I went 2-0 in Wnba last night. The Aces won, right?
Yeah.
Aces money line and Liberty plus 4.5. New favorite sport to bet on.
But some news occurred in that Liberty game.
Oh, what?
Sabrina.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yep. Sabrina.
We'll call her Sabrina.
It's just Sabrina.
Was the youngest player in WNBA history to record a triple-double, and it happened in that game right there. She's a triple-double machine. She has the most triple-doubles in NCAA history, men's or women's, with 23.
Who did she play for in college? Oregon?
Sabrina. Where was it? I just saw this.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yep. Sabrina Ionescu. Yeah, she's like one of the greatest college players to ever exist.
Well, now she's balling out in the big leagues. Shout out to her.
Dude,
Youngest all time. Only 23 years old. Triple-double. Hey, more like a double-triple.
I didn't know that triple-doubles actually happened in the WNBA. They don't, right? It's very rare.
Not as much, yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on. She became the youngest player in WNBA history and the first player in Liberty's team history to record a triple-double.
Well, they don't put that there. Wow.
That team hasn't even had a triple double before. So I don't think the WNBA has many triple doubles. So that's a really big deal. And not to mention she did it with 26, 12, and 10. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
wasn't like an 11, 10, 10 stat line.
Yeah,
This is
this was
26, 12, and 10. Like
this
she
is you want to
fucking
count points
dominated.
or you want to count baskets? Either way,
No,
I'm
she
good.
fucking dominated. It wasn't even close. New York Liberty, Sabrina, youngest player. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Even though it was against my team, but hey, we won the bet. And the Aces won last night. Yes, Las Vegas Aces had them as a money line. Might be my new favorite sport to bet on here, with basketball playoffs and NHL playoffs ending here in the next couple months. The WNBA might be where we have to turn.
Let's do
Oh
it.
my God, the Liberty won by 11.
Yeah, that was easy.
And the Aces won by 16.
Easy.
Good Lord, I should have put 5 units on both.
Oh.
Next play of the day is gonna be WNBA.
Since we're talking WNBA, let's look at the power rankings.
For WNBA.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down. WNBA. We got games tonight, right? We got 1 game tonight, 2 games tonight, 2 games tonight.
Oh,
I
this
don't
came out.
know.
This is an old power rankings. I need the fresh stuff. But the good
we don't
news
like old
is
stuff.
we
Screw
have
old
more
stuff.
things besides that.
Do we?
Oh yeah. PGA Championship lines are out. We can get to that.
I did see that.
We finally have the closest thing to the bracket for the NBA playoffs that we've had thus far. There's still two little pesky 8 seeds we need to find out who's going to get in there.
And yesterday did not go the way that everyone expected.
But it also was the way that everyone was trying to get too clever with it.
Yep.
I think just the
It was the way
won.
it should be.
The better teams just won yesterday.
The better teams just won. And the Pacers continue their dominant streak of not having players start and still winning games by considerable fashion. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I learned my lesson early on when they started doing this, and that's why I have not bet against the Indiana Pacers.
So I found
At this point, I think they might win. They might beat the Sixers. Who knows? Wait, no, not the Sixers. They got the 7. No. Wait.
Yeah, they got the 7.
Yeah. Wait, didn't the Celtics get the 7?
Oh, that's what you said. Yeah, the Celtics got the 7.
Okay.
The Pacers now have to play.
Wait, I'm confused. Because the Pacers won.
Yeah, the winner has to play
but they were in the
loser.
9-10, so they have
winner
to
has
play.
to play the loser of the 7-8.
So they have to play the Wizards.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that got really confusing there for a second. Yeah, so Wizards Pacers. I still don't know what's going to happen in that game. And when is that? That's tomorrow? I would assume.
They are to. Oh yeah, they're tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
I was gonna say already tonight on back-to-backs. Damn, it's one hell of a playing tournament there.
Wait, so what's tonight? We got the Spurs, Grizz, Warriors,
Lakers.
So wait, when do they play? Are they 7-8? Oh, the playoffs don't actually start till Saturday. Okay, I see.
Oh, the actual playoffs don't start till Saturday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when do they play their 8 seed?
That's so long.
That is long.
Away. Jesus. NHL playoffs just like start right here, right now, and NBA is like, nah, we'll take a little time.
Yeah, it's dumb plans.
Dumb plans. Actually, they've been pretty exciting, even though those 2 games were both blowouts and not very exciting. It's been pretty entertaining.
It's been exciting to acknowledge and talk about, at least.
Yeah, it's been exciting. It's been exciting to acknowledge. The MLB is crazy this year.
Oh yeah.
There's no dominant team, and I think I said it on yesterday's show how it's kind of crazy how there's no like dominant team in all of MLB. Like the best team is like 25-13, which normally doesn't happen. Normally there's single digit losing team.
Hey, dude, I was looking at the standings and I was like,
It's
oh,
it's like they're all together.
this is a tight
Everyone's
pack.
just together. Yeah.
You either
I
have a
think
winning record or a losing record, and it's just like.
So the White Sox and the Twins. The White Sox have the best record. The Twins have the worst record, and I think the Twins are still only like 10 games back, which for baseball is not. For the number one team and the bottom team to be within 10 games of each other in baseball is pretty crazy, because normally like there's like a 28 game lead between the top and the bottom.
For the number one team in like football and the last team in football to be within 10 games is crazy.
That's true. No, it's just been like super unpredictable. Underdogs have been winning all year. Also, speaking of Twins and White Sox, Miguel Sano hit 3 home runs last night. Ooh. For the Twins to beat the White Sox 5-4. 3 homers in one game.
Big bat swanging.
That's ridiculous. Also, Mike Trout out for 2 months. Unfortunate. Yeah. He's just the most incredible baseball player that's ever existed, and there's really nothing else to say. That's just it. He's just the most incredible baseball player to ever exist. And it's not even arguable. I'm trying to find this.
Then I won't.
It's trying to find this how the best team in 2021. Damn it. I can't find it. Sharpen City, banger, blah, 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 blah. Scratch from start. Draft. Can't find it. Well, what else do we have to talk about?
Okay, I found a fun little thing. It's a bunch of neat little stuff that's happened on this day in history.
Ooh.
In all sorts of sports.
We're throwing it back?
Yeah, we got the throwback. We got news from 2018 back to 1910.
Whoa.
So today in 1910, we'll start there. I'll do the highlights. I'm not doing every one of these. But Cy Young wins number 500 as a Cleveland Indian. 500th win. The career leader in Major League victories wins number 500.
Oh my God. I thought you were talking about the award. I forgot that was actually a person.
The
the dude who the award is named after.
Yeah, and this is why.
I was like, what are you talking about?
No, yeah, so that was real.
Okay,
Flyers win the Stanley Cup in 74, beat the Bruins.
Oh.
Beat them in 6. Easy. First one.
Oh. Kind of forgot that the Flyers have won the Stanley Cup a few times.
Yeah, man, we did. What else we got? Lot of Kentucky Derby stuff. Apparently, that happened a lot on May 19th.
Okay.
Lucy Lee. Remember her?
First Philly to win it. Just kidding. I have no idea.
That was This is in 2014.
Wait, she's the first Philly to win the Triple Crown then.
She is a human being.
Oh, okay. Not a horse. Not a horse. Not a horse.
She was the youngest player to ever qualify for the U.S. Women's Open at 11 years old.
Why are you just talking about Kentucky Derby and then you went on to Lucy Lou tennis?
I said there's a lot of Kentucky Derby, but I skipped over
2014 was also the year that first Philly won the Kentucky Derby or the Triple Crown or whatever. You had me all thrown off. I thought I knew what I was talking about and everything.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen today. You should have known that. That happened on a different date. No, Lucy Lee was 11 years old, and she made the U.S. Open today.
Whoa.
In 2014. 11. So she's
I
not even that old now.
Holy shit. Yeah,
she's
she's still not even like 18.
She's still younger than us. And she made
she's
the
like
U.S.
barely
Open
even 18 now.
Back in 14. 2015, the NFL.
Wait, like the golf U.S. Open?
The tennis.
Tennis U.S. Where is she now?
No, I'm sorry, golf. Golf.
Wait, Lucy Lee still golfs. Yeah. She's like,
I'm sure.
Like a prodigy.
I think so.
Damn. All right. That's cool. 11 years old in a professional
11.
golf.
2015. NFL moves back the extra point.
That is 6 years ago already.
Right.
God, when kickers went from amazing to just shit in 1 year. And was that the year that they narrowed the goalpost too?
No.
No?
I think that happened separately. I think that happened before.
Man, because that move absolutely ruined kickers.
Mm-hmm.
That was when Blair Walsh dropped off the deep end. That was when a lot of kickers just lost it. They couldn't hit it anymore.
Yeah, that was a rough. There's a nice little chart of like extra point accuracy. I'll go from this extra point accuracy over time, and it was just like increase,
and then just drop.
And then I think they moved it back the first time. Increase, higher than it ever even was before they moved it back the first time. Move it back, bam. And then we're back on the slow rebuild. But I think we found a sweet spot where even once people get used to it, the accuracy is never going to be back where it was, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
good for
honestly,
the game.
it should be something that's not a guarantee. Like it's
Absolutely.
a point, so it should not be a guaranteed point.
Or at least,
and honestly, it's a big points too.
Yeah, or at least worth considering a 2 point in a situation where you're not down 2. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's their push, anyways, is to get as many 2-point conversions attempts as possible.
It's better TV.
It's better TV. And honestly, you should be going for 2. You got a touchdown. Go for extra points. Why not?
But those are the highlights I saw. I thought that was interesting. Maybe
cool.
something will pop back in.
Lucy Liu, 11 years old. That's a professional golfer.
She shot a 68 on a par 72.
What the?
And she was like this big.
Yeah, seriously.
When I was
68?
When I was 11, I had probably sleep deprivation because I played Minecraft too much. Like I was not out here shooting 6 under par, 4 under par just for fun. Whoa.
I golfed all 4 years of high school, 3 years on varsity. Ooh. My best score ever, still to this day, was a 72 on a par 72. I was 18 years old.
Hey.
And she, at 11 years old, shot a 68 on a professional PGA course.
Yeah.
I played on a nice course, but it was short. A professional PGA course in the Open, one of the hardest tournaments of the year.
I just looked at who she surpassed. Apparently, this is just a thing. Lexi Thompson was the youngest competitor before. She was 12 when she qualified in 2007.
Oh, man, that's absurd.
I guess you can just be really like.
I mean, like, girls mature earlier, so like maybe she's got like at 11 years old she started just pummeling the ball and like was able to hit it far enough. But like,
and maybe it's
no dude at 11 or 12 years old would have the strength to like be in that field. I guess it's possible for women, but still 11 and 12 years old. Like, dude, even if you're that good at putting at that age, it's unbelievable. Right. Like, you know how hard it is to putt on those greens?
Right. I feel
these
like
are glass. It's literally glass.
Like, it would take 11-year-old me probably 13 strokes to get halfway to the green. Like,
she's just beating half the field.
Yeah. Even if I made good contact on the ball, my little baby boy spaghetti arms simply don't have the output to make the ball go that far. So shout out to these little these preteens and whatever drama they're going through in middle school. Like, hey, shout out to you guys. You've done 1,000,000 times more with your life than like everyone else.
Just like literally the most prodigy thing ever. Yeah, that actually makes me kind of feel bad about myself.
Yeah, dude, I bet you felt good about your 74.
72.
72. Oh, sorry.
So get this. So there's this kid when I played high school. He was 2 years younger than me. If he missed, you know what a green in regulation is?
Yeah.
It's when you hit the green and you're putting for par or putting for birdie. If he ever missed a green in regulation, his dad made him hit a bucket of golf balls after the tournament was over. Like after the round was over, his dad made him go to the driving range and hit a bucket of balls. If he missed one green in regulation, for every green in regulation he missed, he had to hit a bucket of balls. For every 3 putt he had to spend a half hour on the putting green. This kid was a machine. Literally won every single tournament except for one where he tied with a 72. I was the only person who tied him all year long, or like nobody beat him. I was the only person who even matched the score all year long. And then I came out the next week to my home course and shot a 91. I got rid of those irons the next day.
Swinging ball.
Oh yeah. So I was just kind of looking at the MLB standings because now I'm intrigued to see just kind of how everyone matches up. The AL East has 4 teams within a game and a half of each other.
Wow.
Those Red Sox, Blue Jays are half a game behind, Rays are a full game behind, and Yankees are 1.5 games behind. And then the Orioles are 7 games behind. So 4 teams basically trying to get first in that division. The AL Central has the White Sox, who are the best team, has the best record in the MLB. They basically have 3 teams in contention. The Indians are 2.5 games back. The Royals are 6 games back. So this division is this is basically where all the bad teams are, is the AL Central. And then we go to the AL West. The Athletics lead. The Astros are a game and a half back. Mariners are 5. Angels and Rangers are 7. So like, that's still not even like Angels and Rangers win 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row, and they're right back in it. Let's go to the National League. The Mets and the Phillies are a game within each other. The Braves are 4. Okay. So there's some distance in some of these, but like the NL West is Giants, Padres, Dodgers, and they're all within 2 games of each other. Yeah, these divisions are really, really close. Like there's a couple of really bad teams. Like there's the Diamondbacks, Rockies, Pirates. There's not even one in there. Orioles, Twins, Tigers. It just feels like there's a lot less bad teams this year, and there's no team.
Yeah, no real breakaway.
The best percentage in baseball right now is 610. 25 and 16.
Dude, that's going to be, if it stays like this even to like a third of the way through the season, you're going to hear constant, there's going to be so much like, if they win this and then they lose that and they'll be first.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so exciting.
It's going to be and then if it's even half as close as this when it comes to playoffs, it's going to be intense baseball. I might even watch it.
Actually, I really enjoy playoff baseball because I feel like regular baseball, like teams win and they're just like high five. But then playoff baseball, like you see the pitcher strike someone out and you see him like fist pump after, and you're like, oh yeah, fucking playoff baseball, baby.
Yeah, I think you said it. I think you said it when we were talking NHL playoffs either yesterday, or the day before. You said the MLB playoffs get the biggest boost.
Usually
in like
from regular season to because you see all these dudes just like all of a sudden lock in. Like you get to see how actually good they are. I love playoff sports are just so much better than everything else. I think we can kick it to a break.
Yeah, that's what I was.
50-minute little stints. Come back, talk a little bit of news. Talk some sports bets for the day.
We'll get into the big bets, baby.
Big bets. Big bets.
Big bets, baby. We'll be right back. Bye. Fellas, we're back.
Fellers,
As you know,
we
we're reaching 11. And when the clock says 11, it's betting time.
start talking bets.
Unless we don't feel like it.
Bets. Unless, yeah. But today we feel like it.
Yeah.
We're gonna start it out with a little PGA.
Yeah.
PGA.
Finally got the odds out.
I don't know if I really have a whole lot of expertise in this area, but I will say that Rory McIlroy being favorited at a plus 1100.
Yeah, 11-1.
That's very interesting. Also, the fact that the favorite in this tournament is plus 1100 is very interesting. I mean, you could technically 11 shots.
Yeah.
You get 11 shots to try and pick a winner.
And that's the thing. If you take this is really interesting, and I feel like okay, but if you took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
5, 6, 7,
you'd be down to plus 3,300.
Yeah.
So
you just have to take the first 10 and then take your 11th on some random shot. You just want to win.
Right. Or even if if DeChambeau is 1,600 right now, I believe.
There he is, Derek Holmes. Sorry, that's my friend. I know him.
What's his odds?
Derek Holmes. Plus 1 million. No, plus 100,000. Plus 100,000. Hey, but he's tied with. I mean, plus 100,000 is the biggest odds for the tournament. But he's tied with Vijay Singh, legend.
Wow.
John Daly. Because apparently he's in this tournament. I didn't know he was still
going.
Wait,
really?
Yeah. Wow. John Daly's in this tournament. Vijay Singh. Yeah, okay, those are the two names that he's tied with. But hey, that's pretty cool. You have the same odds to win as John Daly and Vijay Singh. That's a win in itself, I think.
That is a win.
But anyways.
Everyone take a flyer. Put a unit on that. Plus 100,000.
Yeah, why not? I think this is pretty. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you have such a high name right there, why wouldn't you just take a shot? I mean, unless one of the top 10s don't win and then you just get shit on. But there's some pretty, the top 10 is pretty stacked.
Yeah.
11 is Hideki, Patrick Reed, and Brooks Koepka. That's 11, 12, 13. Webb Simpson's Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, Cantlay's down there.
I don't know. I'd probably go in John Rahm to place top 5. He's been pretty significant. Dustin Johnson's.
Can we see those yet? The top 5, top 10 odds? Are those out? Because that's where it gets. That's you can make some money.
Yeah,
there.
Let me. My phone's gotta have it. I bet for sure. Actually, I'll go on FoxBet on my laptop. FoxBet. I'm pretty sure that there's got to be because it's a day away. They already know. They definitely already know who they're. Give me a second. Where is the golf? The PGA Championship. There it is. Here we go. Top 5, Rory McIlroy plus 250. Top 10 plus 130. Top 20 minus 167. I'd be putting Dustin Johnson top 20 minus 110. That seems pretty.
Top 20, yeah, that's pretty.
That seems pretty generous for Dustin Johnson.
Because he's 3rd in odds, right? He's
6th.
Okay,
but that already seems kind of ridiculous because it's Dustin Johnson. What other ones are interesting? Top 10 finish from. Top 10 finish from Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson DeChambeau to take top 20 is minus 120. Damn. John Rahm, top 10. So all the top 10s are plus money. Rory McIlroy you can get in the top 10 for plus 130.
Wow.
If you think he's going to make a shot at it, you might want to take him top 10. Might be worth it. But I think this Dustin Johnson top 20 bet is ridiculous. Minus 110. You're giving me basically even odds for Dustin Johnson to take top 20.
That's there are
A
always
guy
these
who's
ones.
a guy who's wins consistently.
It's the problem is, man, it gets once you get out of like that top 10, 12 kind of range,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Starts getting a little.
yeah, one stroke you're like down
Yeah,
to like
exactly. Because
29.
everyone's tied. Yeah.
So it's always that's where it gets. But if you're confident in someone winning or getting top 5 or something, then just hedge that with a nice top 20 as well. Or
Yeah, I agree.
especially when they're all plus money or close to even.
I bet Dustin Johnson plays top 20.
I think we'll probably have a nice little card for this when the time comes. We'll have to do some more research, but I love something about golf odds and betting is just so fun.
It is pretty fun.
Just like just the options for it, you know. It's like racing,
Also, like
but without
watching,
cars.
betting on golf and then watching golf is electric. When your guy is up there
Yeah.
and he's hitting the ball and he puts one on the green,
Yeah, if he's playing good out there, if your guy's out there hitting bombs.
hitting bombs, hitting the fairway, hitting greens in regulation, sinking putts.
Oh yeah.
He sinks like a nasty long putt. Ooh, it gets the blood going. It gets the blood going. All right, well that's one play for hockey. I'm gonna say golf. I'm gonna say Dustin Johnson's top 20 or John Rahm top 10 at plus 150. The winner, I don't think it's gonna be anyone in the top 5.
Wow.
Patrick Cantlay plus 4,000 winner.
That's the other thing. If you were like, I don't think anyone in the top 3 is gonna win. Boy, do you have some like you can play around.
Oh my God, you can parlay these too. So I could parlay Dustin Johnson in the top 20 and someone else in the top 20. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Well, I know that I'm going to be looking at some. I keep thinking golf is hockey. I know I'm going to be looking at some PGA bets coming up. Golf basically is hockey.
Golf is hockey if you unfroze
the same people who play
and
it.
then put everyone by themselves.
This is true.
Sort of.
Okay. I'm ready to talk actual bets for tonight. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I also like Jordan Spieth 1600.
Winner?
To win, just as a dog, perhaps.
You big Spieth fan over there?
I don't know. Seems like good odds.
I don't know. Seems like a good guy.
Seems like a good guy. Good odds. Good guy.
All right. Let's start with hockey tonight.
Playoff Chell, baby.
Playoff Chell. Boy, Marc-Andre Fleury is a good goalie.
Boy, he really
did it again.
Pucks.
He did it again last night. He's just Cam Talbot played fine. He played very well for what he does, but man, that freaking Marc-Andre Fleury guy is good at hockey. He's good at stopping pucks. I can tell you that much. All right, so for NHL today, we have Canucks and Flames. It started off again with one of those stupid games. It's now back-to-back. No one can predict it. Yesterday in VIP, we had under 6 in Flames and Canucks. And it was 3-1 with a minute left. And then the Flames scored to make it 3-2 and then pulled their goalie so that Canucks could score with like 8 seconds left and push the under, even though we were 2 goals clear with 60 seconds to go. Now we had over 5.5 in the Panthers Lightning game, and that was also 3-1, but guess who didn't score 2 goals in the last minute?
Neither of them.
The Panthers and the Lightning. Anyways.
Can I just say,
Canucks,
dude, imagine waking up to play a back-to-back hockey game that doesn't
no one cares
matter
about.
For anything. There's already playoffs going on. All the good teams are playing.
All the good teams are playing.
And you just were grinding all day yesterday. You have to wake up, get out of bed, and go get beat up on the ice.
These guys are probably getting trashed the nights before.
Oh, yeah.
These games don't mean shit.
It's so weird. Okay. I don't even understand.
I don't get it either. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, oh well. More hockey. I'm not going to complain about it. Predators, Hurricanes tonight. I think the Hurricanes steal another one in the Predators. -190. I'm not going to take a shot on it. Getting 75% of tickets, 83% of money. It doesn't seem like a good line to try and take a stab at. I'm sure they're winning regulations like -120. But in the playoffs, I just don't think it's worth it. Capitals Bruins, another tough one. Bruins are getting -175. The Capitals are getting +148. We are in Boston tonight. The series are split 1-1. Both have gone to OT. Both have been won by a different team. 50-50 split on tickets. However, Boston is getting 78% of money. Capitals getting 22%. Again, another game that I don't really feel like touching. Maybe the over in that game because it's at 5.5 and it's plus money on the over, which seems interesting to me. Yeah, I don't like these matchups as much as I like the other night's matchups. I like the second night, like when the Wild and them play, because these games are tough. I think the Hurricanes obviously win, but they're just too much. The Avalanche and the Blues play again tonight. The Avalanche are currently getting -335 against the Blues. I know why. They're at home. Grubauer is starting. The Blues are still a little hurt, but man, that seems like a ridiculous line to be giving someone in the playoffs. I know they won game 1 4-1, but it was 2-1 for most of that game. What's the under over in that game? I might take a stab at the over. No, I'm not gonna take a stab at the over. And then the last hockey game tonight is the Jets and Oilers. Jets are getting +143. Oilers are getting -167. This is the first North Division game that we are going to see. This is the very first one. There's been Toronto and the Habs don't play till tomorrow. I think the Jets are a god-awful team. I think the Oilers aren't a whole lot better, but still better. And I think the Jets are a terrible team. I think they're going to get damn near swept in this series, and if they don't, they get damn near swept in the next one, and if they don't, then they get damn near swept in the next one. I don't understand why this team's in the playoffs. I don't understand how this team even is over 500. This team is just bad. I'd be taking the Oilers tonight, maybe in regulation, maybe just a normal money line for a couple units. I do not see the Jets beating them. However, the over-under in that game is set at 6. And the under is getting a shitload of money. So it might be worth taking a stab on the over. Maybe. Yeah, NHL's not pretty tonight. The two favorites are getting way too much juice. I think the Oilers are in a good spot to take them tonight. The Canucks-Flames game, who cares? It's too hard to predict. Yeah. And Boston and Capitals, that's just a great series to watch.
That has
and I
been
don't
a
really
fantastic series.
I don't know what to do with that game. Like, it's going to go to OT again, probably. Yeah.
It's one of those, it's just a little too good to even be able to.
It's a little too, it feels a lot like the Wild and Vegas series where it's just like, hey, have fun watching, but you're not betting on this. That's it for NHL. Small slate, playoff hockey. Just watch, enjoy. Don't have to bet a lot. I would be taking the Oilers though. Their lines are matching up pretty nice. Might be taking a stab on the Oilers tonight. Let's go to NBA real quick. NBA. 2 games tonight. Playing games.
Oh yeah.
Playing games.
I think some really fun playing games as well.
I agree. The Grizz are getting 4 on the Spurs at home. They are getting 74% of tickets and 79% of the money. There's also a system play on the Grizzlies. NBA playoffs, more money on favorites, which has a 62% win rate and a 20% return on investment.
Yeah, I think in this one, especially with only +4, obviously Spurs have made it to the play-ins, and they've been playing well, and they've been looking good. But they also seem like the most overmatched team in this out of the 20 playing. And I think with a line of just 4, I think it's just in the logical way of looking at it, it makes sense.
Now I will say
the system as well. I like that.
Yeah, Now, I will say that anywhere the public went yesterday lost in the NBA. The public was stacked up on the Wizards and the public was stacked up on the Hornets yesterday, and both got absolutely brutalized, brutally annihilated, you could say. Um, and the money is stacked up on Grizz. So, like, if you're a fan of the Grizz, I would probably maybe not bet them tonight and just watch. If you're a fan of the Spurs and you're thinking about betting Spurs, I think you're in a good spot to bet them tonight. Seeing everyone stacked on the Grizz. Also, that line doesn't make any sense, and it makes me think that Vegas set that line alternatively to what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I feel like that line should have been 6 or 6.5, considering the Lakers and Warriors are 5.5.
Lakers and Warriors are 5.5. And wow.
Lakers have 5.5 on the Warriors, which also seems a little crazy to me because this seems like it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
I would think that this is just a back and forth, comes down to the last couple shots, free throws. Like, this does not seem like a blowout game. This is not the kind of game that gets blown out when you have AD and LeBron on the court and Steph and Draymond on the other side.
I will say, though, man, one of these teams, when healthy, is competing to win the championship. And it's not the Warriors.
It's not the Warriors. However, beating the Warriors by 5.5 on the streak they are on right now.
It's true.
Like, I don't know how you clear 5.5 when the Lakers are one of the worst home teams in the league right now. They're at home. They're playing the Warriors. It's a big game for the Warriors too. They don't want to have to go play someone else.
No, they don't.
I think if the Lakers lose this game, they're much more okay than if the Warriors lose.
Oh
this
yeah,
game.
if the Lakers lose this game and
they're
then
going to
can't win the next one,
I'd be shocked.
Yeah, me too.
But if the Warriors lose this and then end up dropping the next one, I would not be that surprised. Like, it just feels like the Warriors are just not as good of a team. I might ride both underdogs tonight, honestly. I'll probably stay away from the Grizz and Spurs because I like the Grizz. I think the Grizz win. But seeing everyone stacked up on that side and seeing what happened yesterday scares me a little bit. I have no problem taking the Warriors plus 5.5 tonight.
Here's my problem with Warriors plus 5.5. All these metrics we talk about are good and they're helpful, but it's like I would really like to see it when AD and LeBron are on the court.
Exactly.
Together. Like, what do those numbers look like at home? Because I don't know, man.
They've got to be.
It is tough to go against. First of all, tough to go against LeBron in the playoffs ever.
Yeah.
Just in any kind of prediction. Oh, I don't know, man. That is a tough game, and I'm so excited to see it. And for some reason, I feel like it's gonna be because there's so much hype and everyone's so excited to watch it. I feel like there's no way. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a blowout.
It's gonna be
on one
both
side.
These games are gonna be like yesterday's games, where just both are blowouts and like whatever. They're just gonna take the playoff. They're gonna take the cool idea of the plans and ruin it with just blowout games.
Blowout.
Because the only reason the play-in games were fun was because it was like, oh, one more chance. Now like we're just seeing 20-point, 30-point blowouts, and it's like, well, it was a fun idea. It was a cool concept, but man, the execution sure was shit. Warriors and Lakers over under is 218. I don't know, maybe the under. And Spurs and Grizzlies over under is 222.5. I don't know what to do there either.
That's a boring. There's nothing.
I got the Wizards and Celtics under yesterday against all odds.
Nice.
Everyone said it was going to be over by a long ways too, like 14 points on the under. Man, NHL and NBA just aren't that exciting tonight. Besides, like what they actually, as far as from betting perspective, they're not that exciting.
Yeah, the games.
NHL, I'm still going to be locked the fuck in.
The games themselves are going to be intense.
Let's see, MLB. What do we got? MLB. Here we go. Twins and White Sox play each other at 1 o'clock again today. I bet on the White Sox yesterday to keep the streak alive of like what 2-9 on Twins games this year now. I think 2-9.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-9, 2-9, something like that.
You might have stole one.
I think I'm maybe 3-9. White Sox getting 88% of tickets, 79% of money. No, thank you. I will stay away. Wait, however, If the Twins have a lefty pitcher today,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they don't. Damn. White Sox against lefty pitchers. That's all you need to know. They
Free
kill
money.
all of them. Yep, free money. It's literally free money. Okay. Oh, baseball is interesting today. Oh, whoa. People are very confident about betting on teams today in the MLB.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we might have lots of plays today. First, Tigers getting 6% of money against the Mariners. They are plus
Wow.
125 and the Mariners are minus 152. 6% of money. Tampa Bay Rays against the Orioles, the worst team in that division, getting 8%. All because I bet John Means is throwing. Yep, John Means is throwing. Starting pitchers.
They'll get you.
However, John Means is 4-0 and has a 1.21 ERA. John Means is a fucking badass. The first game I watched this year was opening day, Orioles versus Boston. No, not the first game. Opening day of Red Sox I watched, and it was Red Sox Orioles, and I watched this John Means guy throw 3 changeups in a row, and all of them hit his catcher in the face because he couldn't read the ball because they were that nasty. And well,
You all right
strikeouts
there?
on May 5th. No, yeah, I'm good.
All right.
That's he threw 12 strikeouts on May 5th against Seattle. That's crazy. However, the Tampa Bay Rays are a good team and only getting 8% because John Means is on the mound. He's due to lose at least some point in this year because he's on the Orioles. He's 4-0. I'm telling you, it's a good spot for the Rays. We'll be taking the Rays today. The
Nice.
Cubs at plus 135. It must be Max Scherzer on the mound today, huh? Let's check it out. I bet it's Max Scherzer. Where is Max? Show me Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer's on the mound. There it is. I wonder. Yep. And that is why they're getting favorited, and that's why they're getting all the money. Cubs getting 7% of the money against the hang on, let me check. Against the 16-22 Washington Nationals and the 3-2 Max Scherzer. They are getting underdogged. Interesting.
Very. Sounds like that might be a bet.
Angels have Mike Trout out. I will not be betting on the Angels until that man is back because that man is the best player in baseball. The Brewers are getting favored on the Royals. Not much money there. Giants are getting favored on the Reds. Not much money there. Marlins are getting disrespect against the Phillies. That's interesting. The Braves are stacked up on money against the Mets at minus 186, and the Mets are at plus 160. I don't know if it's worth taking a shot on the Mets. They are really bad right now. Like, really bad. They don't like to win games very much. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Mets in this spot.
No.
I think it's worth fading. I mean, it's a really good line, but anyways, Pirates and Cardinals. Pirates are only getting 5% of money at plus 200 and have a system play. Visiting dogs versus better divisional opponents has a 38% win rate and a 4% return on investment. That does not make me feel any better.
No.
The Rangers are only getting 7% against the Yankees, and I love fading the Yankees. I love it. And the Rockies are getting 7% against the Padres. Interesting night of MLB. I'm going to call it now, expect a lot of upsets tonight in MLB. It's going to be a dog's day in MLB. There's going to be a lot of weird shit going on. With all these teams just getting stacked up, it looks like a lot of aces are in rotations.
We love to see it.
I love aces in rotations. They screw up the odds. They make the public bet on one side. Let me take the other side for plus money. Yeah, we're gonna have quite a few MLB plays tonight. This is gonna be fun. Well, let's check under overs. Let's see if money's stacked on anything. Show me that 99%. Love it. Love when I see 99%. Nationals and Cubs under 9. only getting 1% of money. Love it. Might have to take that one. Show me more 99s. There's another one. The over in the Tigers Mariners game, getting 99%.
That's good money.
Under eight with two teams that can't hit the freaking ball. Are you kidding? That's a money play all day long. Show me one more. No more 99%. That's pretty good though. We get 2 under overs, probably like 4 money lines. MLB is gonna be an exciting one today. They're definitely making up for the lack in NHL and NBA. But wait, we have one more sport.
There's more?
WNBA.
Oh yeah.
WNBA. We are taking the Chicago Sky -6 today against the Atlanta Dream.
All right.
Don't ask me why. I'm not ready to tell you why yet. I'm not ready to give away my secrets of how I pick these WNBA games. By the way, 2-0 in WNBA games.
So quit asking why.
2-0. First 2 shots, first 2 wins. Easy. It wasn't even stressed. 6 seems like a lot, but hey, I trust in my system, in my amazing WNBA capping ability.
So far,
the Sky are 5-1-1 against the spread in their last 7 games as a road favorite, dating back to last season, I might add. So that definitely matters. Oh, the Dreamer. Oh, they've got good trend bets. Ooh, Atlanta's got good trend bets. Dream are 5-0-1 against the spread in their last 6 games, following a straight-up loss. It's a little scary. A little nerve-wracking. Head-to-head, how are we done head-to-head here? Oh, boy, Chicago's really got their number. Dating back to 2017, Chicago has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of the 10 matchups Chicago has won.
Wow.
Now, in the ones that they haven't won, they've gotten killed.
Yeah.
But, boy, Chicago -6, I think, might just be the play of the day. Dang. I'm excited for this WN. Hey, VIP is putting a unit on Chicago Sky tonight, by the way.
WNBA play of the day, huh?
We are doing an official WNBA play today. An officially official. Yesterday, we gave 2 ones that were not officially official, but today will be officially official. That's
nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth here at Hey Fellas. Complete transparency at all times. Nothing but the truth.
We're very honest.
Because the fellas deserve the truth, and we will provide the truth at all times.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, don't listen to those other guys that make you pay lots of money, stuff like that, to pay for their picks. $25 a month, under $1 a day. They aren't worth it. They're no better than we are. Trust me. I've met all of them. I talked to all of them. I know all of them. Great guys, but they're no better than we are. And they charge 5 times the amount of money that we do. Come on, fellas. Smarten up. You're better than that.
Quick plug.
HeyFellas.com. Make a free account. Check out the results. It's worth it. We're good at it. We're good at what we do. We win. Dang right. We win people money.
Dang right.
That's about it. Ooh, I want to look at the new NHL Futures. Now that we've had a few games to figure out where people stand. The Avalanche are up to +400. Oh, they were at +400 before, right? The Avalanche.
Yeah, I think last time we looked, they were 400, maybe 450.
The Avalanche are still first, and the Golden Knights are still second.
Interesting.
I don't know why. The Maple Leafs are still third. Still have not played a playoff game yet. We still have not watched them yet. They're still third. The Lightning jump up to fourth. In front of now on some sports, so on bigger sports book like DraftKings, the Hurricanes have a better chance to win than the Lightning. But on other sport books like BetMGM, which is more of a hockey sports book, the Lightning are actually at +600 rather than +800.
Interesting.
So MGM thinks that the Lightning have a good shot, a much better shot than DraftKings and FanDuel and all of them. That's interesting. That's always good to know. I like looking at what other sports books are doing too. Hurricanes. So the top 5 go Avalanche, then Golden Knights, then Toronto Maple Leafs, which is just the craziest thing I've ever heard. Then Hurricanes, then Lightning, and then Bruins, Penguins, Panthers. Wow. Get this. So the Capitals, who have a 1-1, have split the series 1-1 right now against the Bruins,
Yeah.
have a less better chance of winning the Stanley Cup than the Panthers, who now have to go to Tampa Bay down 2-0 in the series.
Huh. So
The Islanders, who are split 1-1 with the Penguins, now going home for 2 games, is at plus 1,800, while the Panthers are at plus 1,500 as they go to Tampa Bay down 2-0. The Minnesota Wild split 1-1, one of the best home teams in the NHL. Actually, probably the best home team in the NHL. Splits 1-1 in Vegas against a team that they normally beat. Goes home tomorrow, plus 2,300, and the Panthers are at plus 1,500.
there you go. Got the odds.
Something doesn't make sense here.
So let's say you got one pick, not the Avalanche, not the Hurricanes.
You get one pick right now. You take the Avs.
Okay.
You have
one
3
pick
other
that
picks
isn't
now.
the Avs.
One pick that is not the Avs.
Yeah, if you just had to pick one straight up now.
The Lightning.
Yeah.
Yep. With I was unsure how they were gonna look. Remember we were talking about earlier how the Lightning got Kucherov and Stamkos back, and I wasn't sure how much of a difference that was gonna make. Boy, did it make a difference! Like immediately, Kucherov scores 2 the first night. He has a good game last night. Stamkos wins every single faceoff ever last night. Yeah, honestly, I don't know why the Lightning are 5th right now, because as they look, they beat the Panthers twice at the Panthers arena. They just look really good right now. I'd be taking the Lightning at plus 800 is my one. Other than the Avalanche, that's my pick. And if you had to go a couple more, I'd probably put Bruins and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really liking the Bruins there at 900.
I like the Bruins, but I keep thinking like, man, they still gotta finish a series against the Capitals.
That's what I'm saying. I was also gonna say maybe the Capitals also 18. If they get past the Bruins, then
they're looking good, because I think the best 2 teams in the East are the Bruins and the Capitals.
Yeah.
I think the best 2 teams are playing each other right now. Not to say that whoever wins that is going to win the Eastern Division, because I think the Islanders and Penguins are both very capable of winning 7-game series. But man, I just don't see how the Bruins should be at plus 1,000 and how the Lightning should be at plus 800. Like in my mind, my 3 to 4 favorite teams right now to win it all are the Lightning, the Avalanche, the Bruins, and the Wild. Honestly, though, no one wants to play the Wild.
No,
they're one of those teams. They're one of those teams that nobody wants to play. Like, we're extremely good at home. We hang around on the road. We don't let up many goals. It's a team that people do not want to play right now. This is not the playoff team that you want to be going against. I would say if I tried to pick like a team that's kind of like us, I would say probably the Capitals.
Yeah.
Like just a team that you do not want to play in the playoffs. You don't want to face off against them. But you could probably beat them most games, but like they're going to steal a couple. And if they get one game, like the Wild in game 1, they stole a game that they should not have stolen. They got beat the whole game, but they still managed to win. It's that kind of shit that like the Capitals and the Wild pull that makes them very, very, very hard to play against in the playoffs.
There we go.
Nhl Futures.
Yeah, they're fun.
NBA Futures?
Oh, yeah, that could be an interesting talk. Well, let's take a look at where the NBA bracket stands now, we're a little bit closer. We're inching closer and closer. Now there are only 19 teams.
19 teams.
Here's what we're looking at. As far as I know, this is the only updated bracket on the internet. So shout out to us.
Nice.
So
Go us.
Boston slots in at that 7 seed finally. They will be playing Brooklyn in the first round. Yikes. Sorry, Boston. And then I'm not sorry. I hate the Celtics. And then also Washington and Indiana matchup, and I think that is going to be quite a game as well. I would rather the Pacers win and play the Sixers because I am just so afraid of the Wizards for some reason.
Yeah, it's the Wizards are just weird. They're so weird. If Bradley Beal was probably not at 100% last night, I'm gonna guess.
No, the
Wizards only scored. If they only scored 100 points, there's no way Bradley Beal was at 100%.
Yeah, he said I believe after the final game of the season that he's going in the play-ins with like real soreness in his ankle, that kind of stuff. Probably would be rested if it was not the playoffs.
Someone commented in on the YouTubes. I got Avalanche at plus 550 on FanDuel. That's pretty good.
Wow, yeah, that's real nice.
If the Avalanche are over 500 now, I would be easily taking them.
Yeah, that was about what it was like start of the playoffs before any games were played.
I think
Avalanche keeps tumbling
yeah.
down, so it must be a good pick.
I think if you're picking one from the right side of the bracket, you're picking Avalanche. If you're picking one from the left side of the bracket, you're picking the Lightning. I think those two are pretty solid. I think we see that the Lightning are now consistent again with being healthy. I mean, taking down the Panthers twice at the Panthers, no one's been able to do that for a while now. And they did it with pretty much ease. I wouldn't say game 1 was ease, but game 2 they looked really good. Yep. Looking at some NBA futures to win the championship, the Nets are still the favorite at plus 250-ish, 250 on DraftKings, 210 on FanDuel. The Lakers slide in second, plus 400 on DraftKings, plus 500 on FanDuel. And the Clippers, they put third at plus 500 and plus 600 in FanDuel. I don't agree with that 3 spot. Maybe the first 2 just because of who's on those teams, and we don't really know. But, man, putting the Clippers 3 and the Sixers at what, 5, 4?
That's
on FanDuel, the Sixers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 6th on FanDuel.
That seems like it's hammer-worthy.
I just don't agree with it. Like, I know they can't win in the playoffs, and they suck at winning important games, but, they're clearly one of the best teams in the East right now.
Yeah, they sucked at winning with – I mean, we all know now that Brett Brown is a stooge. We know that now.
Yeah, maybe if Doc Rivers wins a championship, but Doc Rivers also can't win a championship either.
He also can't. It's a scary combination.
It's a scary combination. It was really funny seeing that you guys hired Doc Rivers because it was like the one coach who can't win a championship went to the one team who can't win a championship. I was like, what a recipe. Like, good for both of you guys. Like, if you both win it, like, because that's cool. You finally defeated something. But, yeah.
The main thing is we're looking good. The boys seem happy. Let's go get it, maybe.
Let's go get it.
I got the odds up as well for just
question on the YouTube. This is Hawks and 6. What are your guys' thoughts on the Bucks versus Heat series? What are your thoughts, Sean?
Here, this is actually so I just looked at I have the round 1 series odds here. The Heat winning that series is at plus 235. And I think when we talked about it before, I liked the Heat as one of my upsets for round 1. Just because
I think they're one of the best well put together underdogs we have in the NBA playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that means that they're good enough to beat the Bucks. However, they are one of the best underdog streaking teams. They remind me a lot of the Trailblazers on the West side.
Yeah,
Like I think the Heat on the East and the Trailblazers on the West are very similar teams in which like they finally got it together on their last portion of the season. They're doing well, and also I do like the Heat matchup against the Bucks in
I
general.
agree.
Like
I
I think
also
they
think that.
match up decently against them.
It's also reminiscent of last year's Heat.
Yes.
Um, so
So game one, the Bucks are getting 5, and I don't see a lot of these games being blown out between the Heat and Bucks. I see that
yeah,
as a pretty tight series. Maybe one team blows each other out the one game, the other one does it the next kind of thing. But man, I see this going 6, 7 games. I don't think this ends in a 4-1 series. And
yeah,
I remember what was said a couple days ago. Heat were one of our favorites to make a deep run in the East.
yeah. I,
Uh,
yeah,
the
I
Bucks
wouldn't
though, it's
take.
the Bucks.
I wouldn't take the as tempting as that plus 240 for the Heat to win the series. As tempting as that's looking for me right now, it's looking real juicy. That's a scary series, but I think game by game you can really look at those spreads and just call closer ones. Because I
Yeah,
think having the Heat at plus 2 whatever for the series is, if that's indicative at all of what the spreads will be, I think it's gonna be a lot closer and there's gonna be upsets. So yeah, I agree.
yeah. Also, game one, Heat +5, only getting 38% of money, but the tickets are pretty much split. So people are pretty even on this series.
Yeah,
People are pretty split. They don't really know. And it's good that no one's stacked up. However, the Trailblazers game one are getting +1, and there's 73% on them right now. So people are liking the Trailblazers against the Nuggets. Damn, I was really hoping that those two teams didn't square off in the West
no.
because the Nuggets were
Here's
like one of my confident teams I had in the West, and so are the Trailblazers.
that series right now is essentially a pick 'em.
It's
If
easily it's going to be it's a
no,
pick 'em for sure.
like the
Oh, like on the odds.
Nuggets are minus 115, Trailblazers are minus 107, which the Trailblazers are favorited right now on the oh, not really. No, never mind. But
No,
dang, it's close.
close. I mean, like one more day, and they actually might be,
Yeah.
depending
So
on seeing how the money goes.
I don't know. I would if in a pick 'em, man, if I would take the minus 115 on the Nuggets to win that series.
I agree. They're a little more just consistent as they have been all season. Now without Jamal Murray, that's a huge hit, but I think they've been without him for long enough to know how to cope with him. I just don't see there's no one that can really slow down Jokic. And if you really don't have someone on your team that slows down Jokic, like I don't care who you have on your team, Jokic is going to do well.
Yeah.
But if you like really don't have a specialized player to be taking on Jokic, like game in and game out, that man is going to kill you in a 7-game series. He's going to wear you down. He's just good. Also, tell me why I don't pick the Mavericks to upset the Clippers.
There's no reason.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, looking at the series odds on that, you can get the Mavs at plus 300 right now. Clippers
Wow.
are minus 400 for the 7
Wow.
games.
Is there something that I'm missing that all these sports books and everything has the Clippers so heavily favored throughout the playoffs? Like I know they've got a good team. I know they got good players.
I
But
just
they
think
have not looked that
regardless,
impressive this season.
in the 4-5 matchup, like look, who do you think's more closely matched? The Mavs and the Clippers or the Knicks and the Hawks? Which teams do you think are closer?
God. What would you say there? Because
Now,
I don't think the
thought
Mavs and
that the Knicks were significantly better than the Hawks, but the Clippers and the Mavericks are closer.
I would agree. But also, I think that Knicks and Hawks series is a complete pick 'em.
Well, it literally is. They're both
Yeah.
minus 110 right now.
Okay, I was gonna say because there's no way you can predict that series. Like you can have a favorite and like, but that series is going 6 or 7 games.
But I guess
I don't know who's gonna win it, but it's going 6 or 7.
I just don't see how Knicks Hawks, they're both at minus 110, and
Mhm.
Clippers Mavericks is minus 400 plus 300.
Yeah, no, that makes no sense. Porzingis is gonna be healthy too, right?
I mean, geez, those I think so. I'm not positive, but those
Not
are the
that that's
second.
like a huge thing. But...
The plus 300 for the Mavs is the second highest odds in the whole first round.
That's
Like,
crazy that the Mavs are getting worse odds than the Heat are against the Bucks.
yeah, and they're only. I mean, the Celtics are plus 600 against the Nets.
Which that one makes
That
sense.
makes
That
sense.
one makes more sense. But plus 300 against the Clippers when the Clippers have shown that they're a good team, but show that they can struggle against a lot of teams. Like they have not had the season that I think they were hoping to have so far. And like I know in the playoffs they're a little different, but still the Clippers, man. They're not ain't that good of a playoff team.
Oh, it stinks. I want to see the odds for the other ones here. I can't. I mean, as soon as the West teams make it out, and whoever the Lakers get matched up against, whether it's 1 or 2, because I'm pretty sure they're making it out.
Yeah. The
Assuming
NBA
they
won't
make it
not let them move it. Yeah,
I think,
the NBA
man,
will
I think
make
you
sure
got to hammer whoever they're playing.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the best odds against the 7 seed that you'll ever get in your life.
True. Or Vegas will literally just pick them in.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it probably should be. The whole West should basically be a pick 'em at this point, I think. Like all of these matchups, you can't tell me that anyone has like a good sense of what's going to happen in the Western Conference playoffs. Like those matchups are like you have Denver, who was probably one of my favorite consistent teams.
Yeah.
I think, even though down the stretch they have not been consistent, but they've also been resting players and everything like that.
And they had a nice, like, just recently they were a little bad, but they bounced up to that 3 seed hard. That was a push.
Yeah. Like, and that's one of my favorite teams in the West to like actually be a top 3 seed, because I think the Jazz and the Suns can be upset by anyone. Like I just think the West is such a scramble. But then you you take the Nuggets, who is one of my favorite teams, and then you put them against the Trailblazers, who's one of my favorite like teams to make a deep run in the West. So like even that series, which is like I feel a little bit more confident in, is not confident at all, because realistically, we're probably going to get 7-8 Warriors, Lakers, or Lakers, Warriors. And that means the whole West is up for grabs. Because the Warriors can beat the Jazz, the Warriors can beat the Suns, the Lakers can beat the Jazz, the Lakers can beat the Suns, the Trailblazers can beat the Nuggets, the Nuggets can beat the Trailblazers, and the Mavs and Clips can both beat each other. Like, the West is crazy. The West is insane.
Dude, what a playoffs
and I love it.
What a playoffs we got right here.
And the East, like, I guess the 1 and 2 seeds are pretty solid. The 3 seed is a little bit of a toss-up with the Heat. And the 4 and 5 is going to be a great series. The Knicks-Hawks is going to be a great series. But, like, I don't see the 1 and 2 seed getting upset, besides if the Sixers have to play the Pacers, who they can never beat.
Dude.
Hey, it should be a real concern right now.
The Sixers will – I think I am more worried about getting upset than the Wizards.
Really?
By the Wizards, yeah.
I don't think the Wizards do well against the Sixers. I think the Wizards are all offense, no defense, and the Sixers are very, very good at defense. I don't think that would be a tough matchup for them.
That's the problem.
However, if Bradley Beal comes back 100%,
that's the problem.
Stroking that shit, and Russ gets on his little Russ shit, like, whew.
That's the problem. Our defense
That's a scary team.
Is really good. Really, really, really good. But no defense is really good when Bradley Beal puts on his 55-point socks and then goes out there and just does it for no reason.
And like, Russ decides to drop 20, 20, and 20.
Yeah. I am confident. Pacers don't take more than 1 off of us. I don't think so. I mean, if we lose to either of them,
watch them panic and backpedal all of a sudden. Well, I don't know.
I mean, no, we could lose a couple, but like we're not losing that series. I don't care who it is.
No, you're not gonna lose that series. But like the 1 and 2 is, I think, pretty solidified. Like if the 1 and 2 in the East don't play each other, I'd be kind of surprised. Like if it's not Sixers Nets, I'd be a little bit surprised.
Okay, now how about Jason Tatum coming off that game? That man coming off that game.
What did he drop? 50, 52, 50, 51? Good.
Because he was getting, everyone's like,
I mean, the narrative was, I'm sure he's pissed because everyone's like, oh, Jaylen Brown's gone. Like
Jaylen Brown,
you guys,
best
and I
player
said the
on
same thing.
Celtics.
I said the same exact thing. I was like, if Jaylen Brown goes down, that season over, like they're done. I'm sure he's been hearing that narrative of Jaylen Brown's gone, like our season's over. And Jason Tatum's sitting there, he's like, you realize I'm the best player on this team.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
12 months ago, Jason Tatum was the next LeBron, bro. So what's going on here?
So I'm sure he's sitting here a little bit disrespecting, being like, we still have me we still have Kemba. We still have like a lot of players that are very good at basketball. I don't know why everyone like the Nuggets lost Jamal Murray, and within a week, no one was talking about the Nuggets failing this season. Like it was like, oh, Jokic is gonna pick up the slack. They're fine. They're fine.
And Jamal Murray was playing a lot better than Brown.
And
like,
I mean, yeah,
like,
he was playing they're both playing very well.
Maybe not a lot better, but one of them was like MVP conversation play level.
Yeah. And then yeah, I'm sure Jason feels super fucking disrespected. I'm sure Kemba does too, because Kemba balled out last night too.
Yep.
I'm sure both of them are tired of hearing how the third best player on their team, how they probably feel, because Jaylen Brown is young, and like I'm sure they feel like the third best player on this team got hurt, and now everyone's saying that we don't have a chance anymore. Like I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed as one of them.
Yeah.
Light a little fire underneath them.
I agree. But yeah, so and I see if one of the big three on the Nets goes down, they no longer have any kind of bench.
If Harden doesn't play, they're in trouble. One
injury for the Nets. They put all of their stock into those three dudes being able to play for the entire playoffs. And that's what happened. Yep. And you know what? It's a good bet.
It's a good bet.
KD, Kyrie, and James Harden is a good bet.
I think if Kyrie sits, you still have a chance. Just because James Harden is still there. As like a facilitator and everything. I think if KD goes down, you've got a problem. And I think if James Harden goes down, you don't have a chance. Not against the Sixers.
I think it's really, really situational. To be honest, I think the best piece to lose specifically against the Sixers might be Harden.
It probably would be Harden.
But like,
because if you lose KD against the Sixers, you are screwed.
You need KD.
You need KD against the Sixers. They're too big.
You need KD. And Kyrie, like, as much as we've improved the shooting guard and the point guard role, as much as we've done all that work, none of these guys are lockdown defenders on the guard position. I mean, so Matisse is a really, really good defender. Shake is a good defender. And then the rest of our guards.
Would Seth be helping out?
Seth would be helping out, and he's a good defender. He's nothing.
Yeah, Seth is a good defender.
He's a good defender. But Kyrie.
He's not a liability.
Kyrie makes people look silly all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just, oh, man. I feel like, and then. Because, if James Harden's out, it's not like we're going to be keeping up with threes much anyway.
I just think James Harden is more of like an actual individual player. He just keeps the flow moving on the Nets. Like, I looked at the stats, and they're scoring like 113 without James Harden. They're averaging like 135 with James Harden. Like, he's just the piece that grabs enough attention to move people, but then he's so good at distributing the ball, and he's so good at like drawing fouls and getting people in foul trouble and stuff. Like,
yeah,
he's just a person on the team that, like, if you want a big three and you want to make a push, he has to be a part of it. He has to be. He's like the main part of it.
He gets all this rah. And I wish that this wasn't the same year the Sixers had a shot, because I don't like KD that much these days.
I don't like KD or Kyrie.
I like Kyrie. I think Kyrie gets shit for no reason at all.
I just didn't like his attitude when he was next to LeBron. I hated I want to be the star of the team. I was like, you take all the shots already. You take all the free throws already. Like, what more do you want? What do you mean you want to be the star of the team? You take all the shots. He outshot LeBron by like double that playoff.
All right, but imagine being on LeBron's team in Cleveland. No one cares about you.
Man, he could have. Cleveland probably fucking loves Kyrie.
Like, he hit that shot, dude. He hit that.
Yeah.
So that's all. But like, I can see it. And then I think he tried being the guy, and he's just not that player, because he's too much of he's a pure point guard.
He's a point guard. You can't be the star player as a point guard.
Yeah. He just needs a guy to dish you because he's so good at it. And I don't know. Yeah. I think he's like, everyone just says, oh, he's a flat earther. He's so dumb. It's like, who cares, dude? He's out there balling. Like at least he's not like I'd be concerned if my surgeon was telling me about how he thinks the earth was flat, as he's like putting me under to get into my stomach or whatever.
But these are basketball players.
But he can have weird opinions and be a fun guy. I know Kawhi's got the trademark on that or whatever, but like Kyrie can still have some fun too.
Kawhi's easily the weirdest dude in the league.
He's an oddball. Dude, I feel like and maybe I just haven't been paying attention because I don't like the Clippers much. But dude, he went from after that Toronto run, he went from like, yeah, I might be the best player in the league, might be the best, and then just like
I said that the whole time when people were like Kawhi, Kawhi. Kawhi. That was Kawhi and Kyrie. Kawhi. Kawhi after that series and after the whole run and after the championship and everything, people were like, "Oh, next LeBron, like best border in the league and everything." I'm like, have we not been watching this dude all season? Like he is not like he's a good basketball player. Board man, yeah, give it to him. Like,
and hey,
great
that playoff series,
amazing, incredible,
godly,
incredible. But he's not the guy that's gonna take the team by storm and go lead him to a championship. Like he did it once with the Raptors, but let's not forget that the Raptors helped them out a little bit around them. Like,
sure.
There's also players in that series that played better than they ever have in their entire fucking
absolutely
life.
Equally falling on Kyrie. It also fell on Lowry, Van Vliet, and the Warriors' injuries. Saying.
No, I just don't see the narrative of Kawhi being top 3 basketball player in the league. Like top 10, sure, I'm sure he breaks that. Like maybe he sits at like 8, 9, 10, yeah. But man, saying he's a top 3 or the next legend in basketball, I just don't know. And that was what the narrative was after that. And I was like, why? Like, what has he shown us besides that he's good at boarding and he can hit clutch shots?
The Clippers team feels like I'm trying to think of like what team it's comparable to, where they have all the pieces in theory, but then it's just like a whack-a-mole type situation where you try to like, all right, now you're playing good finally, and then well, he's injured.
It feels like what the Clippers have always done.
Yeah, it is basically like
I'm trying to think of another team.
You have all the pieces, you have all the talent, you have every reason in the world to make a deep push in the West, and you still just can't.
It makes me think of, although the Clippers aren't necessarily lazy, it makes me think of the old Houston Rockets, like with Harden.
Dude, they were not
when
lazy.
They had, not lazy, but they had all the pieces. Like they should have been able to make a run. Like they should have always been able to make a run, but got.
It's not their fault. That is one thing.
It is their fault.
I get so no. That era of Rockets teams just had the balls to try to play against the Warriors. They just had the balls to be the second best team in the West.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everyone else is like, "Hey, you guys take it for a bit." Like, you know what?
And the Rockets are like, "No, we can do it."
Like, we'll try it. And everyone can shit on James Harden for that series where he went when was that, 2 years ago? Where he
went like 0 for 18 that one game. 0 for 22.
When the only way you can possibly win a game is by having a dude go 18 for 3, and that's been how you've gotten as far as you are. Yeah, one of those days he's not gonna hit them all.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that Rockets team. I always wish they had at least gotten to a finals, but there's just no way. There was just no way.
I like James Harden a lot more now than I did when he was in Houston. I hated him when he was in. I hated how he was changing the rules. I hated all the ticky-tack contact fouls that he was doing back there. It seems like it's slowed down a little bit now. Now that I think refs kind of recognize it, and like maybe players recognize it, and maybe he's just not doing it as much.
I know it's gotten.
But man, it's so frustrating when you watched him play. And anytime you watch a Rockets game, it wasn't entertaining because it was just James Harden shooting 25 free throws a game. Like that's not entertaining. That's not fun basketball. He either drained a 3 or got contact fouled and then hit 2 free throws. That's not fun basketball to watch. And I think that's why I didn't like him at first, because like you're changing the rules. And it's the same reason that I still don't like Steph to this day, even though I have all the respect for him. Like, quit changing the damn NBA. Stop it. Like, I do kind of like the way that Steph did it, where now we're 3-point shooting and stuff. But man, I like the battles inside. And I hate ticky-tack fouls. I hate when you touch someone's finger on a 3-point line that they're going to get 4 free throws.
Well, that's the thing. Now it's like Steph doesn't get those anymore.
No.
Harden.
And I think Harden stopped getting. Yeah, I think Harden stopped.
Now Trey and Luka seem to get a lot of them. But
yeah.
Actually, it's gotten to the point where I think the NBA is discussing like the rule, because I think most of the time it was the rule for like after you're in the air for the 3, you also have to have
the kick out.
Yeah, the kick out and all that. And I think they're reworking that rule this offseason, so that'll be
There's
good.
definitely, and I don't blame the NBA for being a little bit behind on rules because considering the NBA in the past 5 years has literally changed like before our eyes. Like it is no longer the same game. But there definitely is a set of rule changes that needs to happen now. Like the NBA has to change some rules about contact fouls, space for landing, kick out fouls, like all this stuff. They're gonna have to really revisit it because we cannot have an NBA where people are getting touched on the shoulder and there's fouls. Like these guys are too athletic, too big now, like too good at basketball to be giving them bailouts of like just stupid little fouls. And
Yeah.
that's why I liked watching college basketball so much better this year. Is it was like it was so refreshing to not see a foul every single time someone even got bumped. Like it's so refreshing. And it also pisses me off that like the Trey Youngs and the James Harden and Steph Currys of the world are getting 25 free throws a game, yet Joel Embiid is literally driving to the basket every single game and only getting 13, 14. Like that's absurd to me. That's the biggest dude in basketball taking the hardest hits. And this was my big thing about LeBron for a while when people are like, quit your bitching. I'm like, that dude has people hang on to
Yeah.
both of his arms as he
Absolutely.
goes up every single time to the basketball. Like, yes, of course he's gonna bitch. This dude is literally getting hung on every single time he goes up to the basket, and he's still one of the top scorers in the league. So that's the part that pisses me off with 3-point shooters compared to like inside players is when you see all these 3-point shooters get touched on the fingertip and there's a foul for it. Yet you watch Joel Embiid and LeBron drive through 3 people, get hacked in the face 4 times, and someone's pulling on one of their arms and they're still dunking the ball with no foul. Like that's the shit that pisses me off. And I think that's where the NBA is headed, and I don't want it to. So I feel like there definitely needs to be a couple. There just needs to be some rule changes. We got to give some power back to the big men. I think they lost
Yeah.
a lot of power
I
in the
mean,
past
it's
5 years.
the thing is you never have to. Obviously, you can change rules. Obviously, there were a lot of rule changes in the late 90s going to the 2000s that made it more of a scoring league, but it
Mm-hmm.
also just went with the style of play. And obviously, the rules and style of play go hand in hand in every sport, you know?
Yeah.
One may influence the other,
We'll dictate the other.
but at some point, they go hand in hand and change together. In the same way we're seeing football move towards you don't have a big 400-pound lineman anymore. You need dudes that can move on both sides of the ball because then one switch and they need the other to keep up.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it in Kelsey as a center when he's 30 yards down the field still blocking. Yet
Exactly, and
he's a smallest
what is he,
offensive
like
lineman on the
68,
field.
dude? So, but
6 foot.
all you're gonna see now, eventually, one huge dude is going to be able to get past all the little dudes, and
Yeah.
then teams are gonna need big dudes. So it's the same thing here. Once there's a player or several players, because I think we're already getting to that point. Kind of the move towards like the positionless basketball.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to the point where all the big guys can shoot just as good as the little guys, and there's just gonna be more
And
pressure.
they're big.
And they're big, and there's just gonna be more pressure on the more and more pressure around the arc. The more and more people shoot threes until the insides open up, and that's essentially what the Sixers have kind of taken advantage of this season.
Oh, definitely. And I think if you have a true center now, you have an advantage. No matter
Right.
if the true center is actually good or not. Like, I mean, the Jokic's, the Embiid's, the Sabonis's. Like, if you have a true center, and I don't know if Sabonis actually is Sabonis a true center?
I think he plays. I think he's switched
Did
to
he switch?
forward center.
But when you have a true center now, like because there's so much separation in the NBA, because everyone's shooting behind the arc, like I think 5 years ago, Joel Embiid probably wouldn't have had the success that he does now. Like the floor is open for him. He's a 7'1" huge man that has a wide open paint. I mean, not wide open paint. There's never no such thing, but like compared to probably what it would have been
Relatively open.
5-6 years ago when he was probably getting triple teamed in the paint. Like
Yes.
as of right now, being the MVP should have been MVP if he didn't miss games.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing for Jokic. Like I'm sure this dude is seeing so much more space on the court than he would have 5-6 years ago when he probably would have been getting double and triple teamed in the paint to just make sure that he doesn't do what he does, score 30 points a game just in the paint itself. But yeah, I think yeah. I also think that true centers that know how to shoot are going to be absolutely lethal in the next 5 years.
Valuable thing.
And I think Joel Embiid is like picturesque, can shoot some threes if you need him to. Also just a big man who plays defense. Like I love it.
I think the interesting thing is the trends that are happening, you don't kind of realize it until afterwards. It's like everyone made a big deal about the Rockets roster last year after they got rid of Capella and they had no centers. And they're playing their centerless basketball, and it was working, and then it stopped working as everyone. It's gonna work until someone goes, okay, oh, you got us. Here's someone that's 7'2". Like, have fun. But the fact of the matter is, there was already success with centerless basketball. Not necessarily no center on the roster, but like in the Warriors run, the center was always the position on the team that was like, yeah, it's gonna be Steph, Clay, Draymond, KD, and whoever is healthy.
Boogie. Let's sign Boogie.
Was it Looney?
Let's sign Boogie to a 1-year contract.
Yeah, so it was always like, and they barely, I feel like, used the center, and I feel like that was kind of the start of the centerless basketball, but people didn't realize like kind of see it as much, and then until it gets taken to the level that's too far, and then causes the thing that brings it back, and it's like, okay, you're not running any centers. Everyone on your roster 6'9". Here's Taco Fall.
I will say, however, that Draymond Green played more of a center than I think he gets credit for.
Oh, absolutely.
In those years.
But that's what centerless basketball is.
Yeah. Because without Draymond Green, that team is not that team.
Exactly. Oh, totally.
Like, Draymond definitely, I mean, I think some people ride his dick a little too hard and give him a little too much credit. But I also think that he is definitely an underrated, like maybe not now an underrated player, but during that time, he was a very, very, very underrated player during that time.
I think right
and
now
we saw
he
it when he left.
More underrated than he was before, frankly. Like,
you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, just because they're not in the national spotlight as much.
Yeah, I think anytime anytime you hear someone talking about the Warriors coming up in this playoffs, oh, Steph. Like, no one's like, hey, Draymond's out here putting up points, getting the boards. And yeah, you're right. He completely played the center role. He's 6'6", and he just manhandles anybody. And that's the only way it works.
Big dude. He plays like a big guy.
That's how the Rockets managed to get away from it for a little bit. Because I feel like Rocco is like Draymond, but a little bit and a little bit worse.
Yeah. He just doesn't. I think he has more effort, but he just doesn't have as much talent that Draymond has.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't have
I don't know if anyone has more effort than Draymond though.
Yeah.
Beast.
And also, and as much as it's not part of the game, it is. Draymond also plays a very good mental game. He gets people off their game very well. He's a very good shit talker. He always has been. Like, as much as you think that's not maybe part of the game and that doesn't help him, at the end of the day, it does. Like, someone whispering in your ear the whole game, like, I'm gonna fuck you up, you're a pussy, like blah blah blah, like that shit wears on you.
Here, this is the most Draymond
stat. It gets you angry.
This is the most Draymond stat. He just did this year. The first player in NBA history to appear in more than 30 games and have more rebounds and assists than points. He ended the season with 444 points, 449 rebounds, and 558 assists.
That is a Draymond stat line.
It's the first time ever, though, that the rebounding and assist category more than the points category.
Damn.
And that's like Draymond. That's like he will just do everything on the court as whatever you ask. And he's going to be whiny and he's going to be annoying and all that. But I don't care. He's going ball.
No. I during the time of the Warriors, I absolutely hated the Warriors, but the one person I liked on the Warriors at all times was always Draymond. Always liked Draymond. I just like the way he plays.
I had a little period where I really, really didn't like him, but I've come around.
Well, sir, that is noon o'clock.
We made it, boys.
We made it. Another one. Another one.
We the best.
Monday through Friday last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. God, we're good at this shit.
Almost there.
Hump day. Everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend. The rest of your week. Hope your week has been good so far. Yeah, we are in the middle of it. Keep pushing. We're going to win some bets tonight. VIP did lose a unit or two last night, I think, because of MLB. Damn MLB and the damn Canucks and Flames game that somehow pushed instead of going under. Unfortunate.
Ridiculous.
But we move on.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Can't win every day this week. We won Monday and Tuesday, so can't win Wednesday too.
Hey, if you're gonna lose,
There he
make it
is.
a Wednesday.
There he is. And you better lose to a Bearcat.
Shout out to
There's
the
our Bearcat.
Bearcats.
Can that be like the official mascot of Hey Fellas?
Bearcat, man.
Not yeah.
Not that
I like
one.
the cute. I like the cute
one?
one. Yeah, I like the cute one a lot
I've
better.
never seen it.
I mean, I do like that one though. He looks ferocious. That can be like our actual mascot, but then
Yeah,
like
it's like when we're mad.
behind the scene. That's like the Hooter, where he
Yeah.
kind of looks like an angry mascot, but then we have Stella in the background who's just nice and cute.
Yeah, we'll get that. He'll be the real bear. We'll go buy that Bearcat and bring him down and keep him on a leash. Be like, say hi, fella.
Things just Things just pissed. Let's get an angry Bearcat for the fellas.
Let's get ourselves an angry Bearcat. What do you name him?
Cat Bear. Just off the top of the head.
Yeah, that name sucks.
Can we name him Grizzly?
Yes.
Nice.
Hey, Grizzly.
All right, it's 12:05. I'm ready to put out VIP picks and go to the beach.
Play us out, boys.
Play us out.
Is this it? We done?
We're leaving.
We're
Say
done?
Bye.
We're leaving?
Bye, fellas.
Bye.
We'll
See
see
you
you
tomorrow.
tomorrow with your
10-12,
usual things.
heyfellas.co.
Remember.
Get your merchandise. Get your merchandise. Get your picks.
Really can't
Get
see
all
it.
your information. Heyfellas.co. Go on the forum. Drop your pick of the day. If you get three in a row right, you get a free month of VIP.
Heyfellas.co. 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 Bam.
Bam.